Now that we have our footage imported into Premiere Pro, we can begin to preview it so we can start to use it in our edits. I'm going to find a file from our interviews folder and I'm going to select SA Favorite Behavior. When I double click the file, it'll open it in the source window so I can preview it for selection before editing. I have a play button, a pause control, and the ability to scrub through and find different parts of the footage. I can also scrub through and decide what part I want the shot to start from, pause, and hover over the Mark In button. If I press this, it will mark the start of my selection, and then I can continue to play the clip until I find the point where I want the clip to end. Once I've found a decent endpoint, I simply stop the clip, and then I'll hover over the Mark Out and select that. I'll now go ahead and select a few more shots from our footage folder. I'm going to go into whale shots, and I'm going to select underwater _ rotations. From my source monitor, I'll scrub through the footage, and I'm going to find a useful start and end point. I'll mark the in point, and then I'll continue to scrub through the footage, and when I find a point where I want the clip to finish, I'll mark the out point by pressing the button to confirm the end of the selection. I'll continue this process for the next few shots. So I've first found underwater push to trainer, and again I'm going to find a useful start point, and once again I'm going to mark the out point there. Once I've got a good selection of shots, it's time for me to bring them to the timeline. I can drag any shot that I've cut from the source monitor down to the timeline and it will create a sequence for me. Now it's going to call the sequence the same name as the clip that I've used, but I can go in and change that by right clicking the clip from our project window, hitting rename and then giving it a more useful name. I'm going to call this main edit. And you'll see that the name has now changed at the top of our sequence. I'll now start to build my edit by dragging in some of the clips that we've already pre-cut. Before I do that though, when dragging clips from the source window, if I select anywhere inside the image of the actual clip, it will drag both the visual and audio parts of that file. But I can choose to only select just the visual or the audio sides by selecting either the film strip or waveform icons that are underneath the clip. So I'm going to drag in the footage that I've pre-cut, and I'm going to take the visual part of underwater rotations, underwater push to trainers, underwater trainer twirl, and underwater propel jump.
There's behavior in the show where we turn all the sprayers on, and we get on the whale, and we zoom to the bottom of the pool, and we leap up out of the water, jump over the sprayers, come down with the whale. That's just plain fun. That takes you back to the day where you first imagined wanting to get into the water with a killer whale. That's exactly the reason why we do this.
That concludes the session on previewing and pre-cutting your footage. So we'll save the project and continue to work on it next time.